My past with Fairy Tail is not one I'm proud of. When I first watched it, I loved it so much and was proud to say it. But then, it became cool to hate on Fairy Tail, and so many YouTubers and others were bashing on it. When I heard their points, rather than going back to see why I enjoyed the show, I kinda just assumed that they were right and that I had bad taste because I was younger. The very same thing happened with Sword Art Online for me, but in recent years, I've become my own analyst and decided that I actually like Fairy Tail. I'll talk about SAO in another video, but don't let the wave of hate easily change your opinions. It was cool to hate on FT, SAO, Bleach, and now it's Naruto's turn. If you really love your story, you gotta ignore the hate train and criticize the anime on your own merits. But back to Fairy Tail. When I initially interacted with my friend, Starface, I was regaining my appreciation for Fairy Tail, and the analogy we used for its problem is that FT is like an RPG, and it has its stats really high in every other category except for plot, which is really low. I want to make that more specific and say plot consistency, because the ideas for the initial plots of every arc are really creative and interesting. It's just that they're not handled with the grace of the other great battle manga. For example, I really don't like how characters rarely die and that there are a lot of fake out deaths. But let's talk about the abundance of positives. The characters are phenomenal, easily one of the best casts in battle manga. It has a great ratio of males to females, which allows for the females to get more action and screen time. The backstories, character development, and emotional scenes are nailed so gracefully. The amount of pathos this story has is unmatched by any story I've ever read. Seeing how passionate the characters are can either send chills down my spine or bring tears to my eyes. The themes of the story are very simple, but just like the characters, they bring a lot of pathos due to their masterful execution. Themes like family bonds are important, create such powerful and emotional scenes, which is a testament to Fairy Tail's writing. The setting is also very creative. While not as solid and defined as Bleach or Naruto, it has the exploration feel of One Piece. The fights are also epic. While they may not be mechanically and technically consistent, they look cool and have the tide swinging, keeping the audience engaged, which is arguably the most important part of a good fight. The power system is not the most creative, but the powers used within it are. It amazes me how Hiro Mashima never runs out of ideas for new powers. In fact, he never runs out of ideas for several things. Almost every arc introduces a new villain group or setting, with each villain having a distinct and cool design. New character relationships are frequently established and new concepts are constantly brought into the world. His well for creativity never dries up. Finally, this story is never not entertaining. Even when the plot is acting funny, what's happening on screen or the page is always engaging. As you can see, there is a lot more to love about Fairy Tail than there is to hate. I can honestly now see how some people can confuse it as one of the big three. The way it's written feels like it could have been released 2 years after Bleach. If it wasn't for the mishandled parts of the plot, I could easily say that this story is Big 3 level, but as of now, I think it's just a little bit below. This leads me to Eden Zero. I read a decent amount of the manga and now the anime is coming out. It hasn't shown any plot fumbles yet, but my biggest problem is that it feels like a watered down Fairy Tail. The first chapter had FT levels of pathos, but the rest of the story was kinda meh. The fights aren't as cool, the power system isn't as creative, character designs seem recycled, characters aren't as lovable, etc. I doubt my mind will change in the future, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and check out my manga. All important links will be in the description.